The Fox 25 Primetime News at 9 starts right now.
And right now we are monitoring tension in schools all across Oklahoma that could lead to a teacher walkout.
Oklahoma teachers have had enough and they are taking a stand to prove it. Let's take a live look now. Just in the last couple of hours, the topic front and center at a school board meeting here in Oklahoma City. That meeting just wrapping up. Board members tonight taking action, passing a resolution regarding a potential teacher walkout. Now, I pulled up the Facebook page where educators all across the state are uniting. You're looking live at that page. It's called Oklahoma Teacher Walkout. The time is now. Organizers are asking every teacher and educator across the state to join this group as they discuss their options. Now, so far, it has nearly 40,000 members. Heather Reed is one of those teachers behind this movement. She and thousands of other teachers from districts across the state say they are ready to walk out of their classrooms if state lawmakers refuse to act. And they're not just calling for action on teacher pay.
Our class sizes are getting bigger, funding is getting dropped. Things keep happening that makes it harder and harder to be a teacher and enjoy the job.
Oklahoma City teachers have the support of their school board. The resolution passed tonight recognizes the funding crisis and the need for a raise. Fox 25's Caroline Vandergriff is live at Northeast Academy, where the board took up the issue tonight. Caroline.
Well, the board met just inside here, and dozens of teachers and parents also showed up to this meeting to express their frustration with the lack of funding. And they got a surprise right in the middle of this meeting. The board passed a resolution in support of a teacher walkout.
Be it resolved that the Oklahoma City Public Schools Board of Education is in full support of our teachers and stands ready to take any steps necessary.
The Oklahoma City Public Schools Board of Education backing its teachers.
Our teachers are now the lowest paid teachers in the nation, and that can't continue.
The board says it has exhausted all of its options since state lawmakers failed to find a solution to address the funding crisis. Now it's ready to take more drastic steps to support teachers, including a district-wide suspension of classes. Teachers were relieved to hear that support and plan to work with the district to make sure students are safe.
I mean, our kids are the reason we do this every day, so we want to make sure that they're safe and taken care of as well. That's been a huge concern for us as we're planning this, that, you know, we're taking care of them as well.
But teachers and the board know a walkout will have major consequences on the entire community.
If kids aren't in school, some of their parents might lose their jobs because they don't have the kind of job that gives you leave to take care of your kids. And so the stakes are really high for our kids, but our teachers are to the point where, you know, the stakes are even higher for the future of the public education system in Oklahoma.
Right now, teachers are trying to coordinate with nearby districts for their plans. They're looking at a potential walkout after spring break around March 26th. Now, state testing starts in April, and they hope a walkout wouldn't go then. They know that would really put the district in the bind, but they say they will do whatever it takes to get this done. Mike and Wendy.
Caroline, thank you. And the Tulsa Board of Education plans to pass a similar resolution in support of teachers on March 15th. And Mike, this is very similar to kind of what's going on in the state of West Virginia.
Yeah, it's actually day 8 of a teacher strike in that state. Take a look at what's going on. This is a live look at a middle school there, where it's been empty of students and teachers for over a week. This is in the city of Huntington right now. Well, a potential deal today could have ended that strike, but it hit a snag in the state legislature. Now, similar to Oklahoma, teachers and school staff want higher pay and better health benefits. Last week, union leaders reached a deal with the governor to receive a 5% pay raise. The state house approved the raise, but the Senate would only pass a 4% raise. All of the counties in that state have schools closed because of the strike, and as it stands, about 20,000 teachers and almost 277,000 students are out of class.
We're following some breaking news right now out of Fresno, California. That is where there are reports of multiple people being stabbed on a Greyhound bus. Now, according to our sister station in the Fresno area, 3 to 4 people were stabbed by a woman in the back of the bus that was heading from Las Vegas to Oakland and about to make a stop near Fresno. The victims have been taken to a local hospital. Their condition, though, is not known at this time. There were 12 people on board the bus at the time. Now, one witness tells our sister station that he says he saw a woman holding a knife to a baby's throat. Now, the Greyhound did release a statement saying they are cooperating fully with investigators at this point. Of course, any new details, we'll have those for you right here at the Live Desk.
Happy Monday, everyone. Today would have been such a nice day if it wasn't for that darn Oklahoma wind, but we had wind screaming from the northwest today. It's going to happen once again for tomorrow. Coming from the northwest at 15 to 30, sometimes gusting between 30 and 40 miles an hour. So all this wind flying right over top that low humidity, we will have extreme fire danger for the second day in a row. So red flag warning all throughout north, central, and most of southern Oklahoma. Got to stay fire weather aware tomorrow too. Right now we do have partly cloudy skies. It's very cool, but it does get downright nippy overnight. 29 degrees, cold, quiet, under clear skies. 5-day wildfire risk. We're going to talk all about that in your main weather forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Spring-like temperatures, weekend thunderstorms will get going too, and much cooler. Again, your 7-day forecast in just a little bit.
And we've got your back now with how to prevent grass fires. Make sure there's nothing dragging on the bottom of your car that could spark. Clean out your gutters of any dead leaves and branches. It's best to not do any outdoor burning on days like we had today. And keep your grass short around your home. Now, I've just pulled up the forestry website for you. Here's a live look. You can see despite the fire danger, most counties in the metro are not under a burn ban, but another red flag warning is expected to be issued tomorrow as well.
And happening today, the controversial Christian speaker finally gets a chance to speak at the University of Central Oklahoma. This is a live look at Ken Ham's Twitter page, where you can see he's promoting his events right here in the metro. Now, we first told you about Ken Ham last month when his invitation to campus was rescinded. But that invitation given to him once again after some backlash. Fox 25's Jordan Lucero is live at UCO with more on what he said today. Jordan.
Ham spoke at the auditorium inside here, the Nye University Center, and he says the university was very gracious in hosting him. We only saw one person who was standing right here with a poster in his hand protesting Ham. That man, though, did not want to speak on camera. The rest of the crowd here was very receptive to his message. Ken Ham speaks at the University of Central Oklahoma. The university president extended the invitation for Ham to speak during the Freedom of Expression Week. Communication Director Charlie Johnson touched on this freedom while introducing Ham to the audience.
Freedom of speech and expression is fundamental to who we are here at UCO.
Fox 25 told you about backlash and questions about whether Ham should get to speak or not. He had already been invited to speak at UCO once before by the Student Government Association, then disinvited, reportedly out of pressure from LGBT groups.
There are sometimes aggressive people within certain groups that disagree with our worldview that really want to shut down freedom of speech. We've seen that happen at other universities, and people didn't want to see that happen here in Oklahoma.
Ham is the CEO of Answers in Genesis, who teaches creationism based on the first book of the Bible.
We were saying that science confirms the Bible's account of origins. We're really telling them the Bible's history is true.
Yes, my starting point is the Bible, but you have a starting point too. You've already decided that the Bible's not true.
This crowd was happy to finally hear from him.
You did a pretty good job. We couldn't have asked for a more welcoming place as we arrived here.
Ham also spoke at a church here in Edmond tonight. Wendy.
Jordan, thank you. We're learning more about breaking news out of Tulsa. Two different threatening situations unfolding at this Tulsa high school this afternoon. A bomb threat forced students to evacuate. Then, seconds later, gunshots down the street forced police to lock down the school. Tulsa schools saying their team acted quickly, kept students safe. A shooting victim did eventually show up at the hospital. All new at 9, the Oklahoma Commission on School Safety says they're going to reformulate their strategies. In a letter sent to Fox 25, the commission did not specify how they'll be changing things, but they did say the tip line set up by the commission a few years ago is a success. The tip line is operated 24/7, and all information provided can be made anonymously. We've got your back with how to call that number right now. It is 405-810-1158. And last year, 60 tips were reported. And Mike, there are, I understand, new developments out of Florida this evening.
Yeah, those lawmakers there are pushing for a plan that could arm actual teachers there, but it would not disarm potential buyers of the AR-15, the Historic School Safety Bill. Also puts restrictions on gun purchases and invests in mental health programs. Now, it would raise the minimum age to purchase rifles and shotguns from 18 to 21. It would add a 3-day waiting period for long gun purchases as well, but dropped from that bill despite the pleas of Parkland parents, no ban on assault weapons.
No kid should have to say to their mother, "Mommy, am I going to die today if I go to school?"
The Florida House also must pass the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Public Safety Act by Friday. That's the deadline because it's the last day of Florida's legislative session.
Now to Washington, President Trump suggesting today there are conditions under which he would lift those tariffs on steel and aluminum that he announced just last week. You're looking live at the White House right now. It is shaking up markets around the globe and raising concerns from members of his own Republican Party. President Trump downplaying trade war concerns, using steel and aluminum tariffs as a bargaining chip. Trump's proposed 25% hike on U.S. steel imports and 10% on aluminum, throwing a wrench in an already complicated renegotiation around NAFTA, a target of Trump's since the campaign trail.
If we don't make a deal, I'll terminate NAFTA. But if I do make a deal, which is fair to the workers and to the American people, that would be, I would imagine, one of the points that we'll negotiate. It will be tariffs on steel for Canada and for Mexico.
House Speaker Paul Ryan's office has warned of potential economic damage while the tariffs are intended to give U.S. steel and aluminum companies a boost. They could hurt other U.S. manufacturers who will then have to spend more for those materials.
Tomorrow here in Oklahoma, a special election for House District 51. This includes Grady, Stevens, and McLean counties. On the Republican side, Dustin Payne. On the Democratic side, Charles Murdoch. This is to fill Scott Biggs' seat after he left to take a position with the federal government. Now, to find out if you are eligible to vote in the election, we've got your back with a link on our website at okcfox.com.
Another venture for Amazon coming up, how they're now trying to get your business when it comes to managing your finances.
Plus, progress today in the effort to tackle crowded prisons in our state, with the governor is now supporting in hopes that more Oklahomans can stay out of jail.
We now know the case of a missing hard drive will not affect an Oklahoma murder trial. Michael Bever is accused of murdering his parents and 3 of his siblings with the help of his older brother, who was already serving life in prison for the crimes. The question is whether a missing hard drive held any evidence from the 2015 Bever family murders. The situation prompted an officer to resign months ago. Well, today in court, a state agent said investigators couldn't pull any evidence from the hard drive, so they turned it back over to Broken Arrow Police, and that's when it went missing. Today, the judge and DA said it won't affect the case.
Tonight, a man has pleaded guilty to killing a local bookstore owner and then setting that store on fire. Keaton Busby pleaded guilty in connection to the death of Kelly Hayes. Surveillance video from the area shows Busby entering and leaving the business before that fire. Last September, firefighters responded to the fire at the bookstore and found Hayes' body. Busby was released from prison just a few months before. He was on probation at the time of Hayes' murder.
We're continuing to follow some breaking news out of Washington. That is where a former Trump campaign aide is refusing to testify before a grand jury as part of the Russia probe. You're looking live now at the White House, where Sam Nunberg has been blasting the Trump administration as well as the White House all evening long, making the rounds on several talk shows. He was supposed to appear before a grand jury this week as part of a subpoena from Robert Mueller's team as part of the Russia probe. He says, quote, "Let them arrest me." Now, Mueller's team requested records from him of conversations he had with outgoing communications director Hope Hicks, as well as several others who worked on President Trump's 2016 election campaign. Now, there have been several reports that he was possibly drinking before doing these interviews with CNN. This is what he had to say.
I have not had a drink. They can say whatever they want. I don't really care. Once again, they're pathetic. Their president has a 33% approval rating.
Again, he is supposed to testify before that grand jury this week. We will continue to follow this breaking news for you right here at the Live Desk.
Jennifer, thank you. All new at 9, Oklahoma City Police need your help finding a person who they say is connected to a shooting. Take a look at these pictures right here. Police tell Fox 25 that shooting happened last month at a motel near May and Northwest Expressway. You can see a large tattoo across his chest. If you know who the suspect is, call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen.
Governor Mary Fallin endorsing bills aimed at reducing the prison population. This is a live look at the governor's Twitter page tonight. She tweeted, pleased to announce that an agreement has been reached that will allow 6 criminal justice reform measures to advance in this year's legislative session. Now, this announcement came at a meeting today with lawmakers, district attorneys, and business leaders. The bills mostly target nonviolent property and drug crimes, and it makes it easier for inmates to be released on parole. Fallin says these reforms are designed for those offenders who suffer from mental health and addiction issues. And the governor says the bills are still being drafted. There's no official word yet on projected savings or bed space. Oklahoma has the second highest overall incarceration rate in the U.S., with prisons currently over 110% capacity.
Right now, some homes and roads in Massachusetts are still flooded following a powerful nor'easter. Let's show you a live look. This is Boston tonight. Now, for many, power finally came back Sunday night after more than 48 hours in the dark. Crews spent the weekend working to restore power in coastal communities. Some of the damage was left behind by high tide. Now, that same high tide sent these waves crashing over the tops of homes. While there is still a lot of cleanup, residents are grateful it wasn't worse.
Never seen this bad. That's why I just kind of in awe, just looking how bad it really was and how close we were to it all.
Now, to make matters worse, the National Weather Service in Boston says the next nor'easter could come either Wednesday or Thursday of this week.
Amazon apparently wants to be your bank. According to the Wall Street Journal, the company is said to be in talks with JP Morgan, Capital One, and other financial service firms. The idea is to provide checking accounts for customers. Amazon branded checking would let customers seamlessly pay for everything they already get from the site. Amazon has already ventured into other business areas, including shipping and medical care.
Let's go live right now to Los Angeles, where cleanup continues right now after the Oscars last night. This is a Hollywood Boulevard you're looking at live. But Best Actress winner Frances McDormand's Oscar night on Sunday took a turn for the worse.
Yeah, someone walked off with her Oscar while she was at the governor's ball. Variety magazine is reporting the suspect, Terry Bryant, has been arrested and charged with felony grand theft. Minutes before Bryant was arrested, he posted video of himself posing with the trophy and kissing it, even asking other attendees if they wanted a photo with him. McDormand's rep says the actress was reunited with her award, later saying Fran and Oscar are happily reunited and are enjoying an In-N-Out burger together.
All right. The new cheap hot tech you can get your hands on at the Apple Store coming up.
Plus, Walmart taking on another round of competitors, the meal kits that are available for you and your family right now at Metro stores.
And lots of shivering and shaking at the bus stop in the morning. Temperatures in the 20s to around 30, and more freezing mornings this week, and then some weekend rain. We're going to talk about the timing and the details in your Storm Watch 7-day at 9:33.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
Walmart is unveiling its answer to the meal kit trend. The superstore now offers 10 different meal options at 250 stores. Variations include basil garlic chicken and steak Dijon. You can purchase the pre-chopped and measured ingredients from $8 to $15. This is a live look at the Walmart grocery site right now, where you can see one of those meals. The prepared meal kit has grown to a $2.5 billion industry.
Apple could soon be offering a more affordable MacBook Air. Sources from KGI Security said a cheaper 13-inch laptop will launch within the next few months. The MacBook Air currently goes for $999. This is a live look at Apple's website right now. I just pulled it up for you. Apple released the MacBook Air 10 years ago. Many believe a redesign is long overdue.
Your healthy diet will not offset damage to your heart resulting from having too much salt. Researchers say high salt diets lead to high blood pressure, which is a major cause of heart disease and stroke. The American Heart Association says about 3/4 of the salt in Americans' diets come from processed, prepackaged, and restaurant foods. In a large study, researchers found salt's effect on blood pressure cannot be reversed with fruits, vegetables, and other nutrients. And in fact, not even water could lessen the effects of salt on the body.
Fish oil may be the answer to preventing children's food allergies. A study found taking a daily fish oil capsule during pregnancy and throughout breastfeeding reduced the risk for a baby to develop an allergy. Researchers, though, found no evidence that avoiding nuts, dairy, or eggs while pregnant decreased a baby's allergy risk. An awestruck toddler is capturing attention as her museum visit goes viral.
Take a look. 2-year-old Parker Curry was enamored by the portrait of former First Lady Michelle Obama. Her mother said she wouldn't even turn around for the picture because she was so amazed. The painting by artist Amy Sherald hangs at the National Portrait Gallery. According to Mom, Parker believes Michelle Obama is a queen and she wants to be just like her.
Cutest little girl.
Keep your eye on the prize there. That's cute. All right, a backlog of nearly 7,000 rape kits causing major concern at the Capitol.
Coming up, what the state is doing right now to help give victims closure.
The government warning you, scammers are trying to take advantage of people who are struggling with debt. Fox 25 Consumer Watch has got your back with the red flags you need to keep an eye on.
When it comes to your laundry, all clothes are not alike. We've got your back with the 7 things you may be putting in your washing machine that you shouldn't. Tomorrow morning, 5 to 9.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
Right now, state officials are preparing for a meeting that could determine the fate of nearly 7,000 untested rape kits. A task force will meet to discuss how many untested rape kits are in the state of Oklahoma, identify why they're untested, identify the ones that should be tested, and set policies for the future so this doesn't happen again. These untested rape kits do not represent thousands of active cases. They exist because of investigations that did not end with criminal charges.
It may be the victims declined to prosecute, the district attorney has declined to prosecute. There's a variety of reasons why those kits are not tested, and they date back to the 90s.
The governor issued the executive order to audit the untested kits back in December. As of now, more than half of the 400 agencies have responded, and right now there are 6,954 untested rape kits.
We're following multiple earthquakes in the Enid area right now. Let's take you live now to the USGS website where they've recorded about 4 in a period of 24 hours. The latest, there was about 3 of them today. The last one was a 2.6, about 14 kilometers northeast of Enid, Oklahoma. Now, there haven't been any in the last 8 hours or so, but we're going to keep a very close eye on this for you right here at the live desk.
My first rule is trust but verify, and very little on the trust.
Advice from an expert in fighting fraudsters. You can keep your trusting personality without falling prey to scammers.
Fox 25's Maria Garcia has got your back with how to protect yourself against debt relief scams. It's tonight.
Feeling like you just can't keep up with your monthly bills is stressful, and scammers like to take on that opportunity to take your money, promising they can help. Here's what debt settlement or debt relief companies do, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. These companies say they can renegotiate, settle, or change the terms of your debt. They do charge fees, but some scammers contact you by phone or email and make promises they don't intend to keep.
If someone contacts you and says, oh, we've got this great deal, then I'm going to look at it sideways because I don't know them and they've contacted me.
Elaine Dodd educates people in Oklahoma on fraud prevention. She recommends opting for in-person conversations over hiring any companies over the web or the phone. But be careful no matter what you decide to do.
If someone is pressuring you to do something right now, that is one of the biggest red flags of any scam.
According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, it's important to know these facts. If you are looking to use a legitimate debt relief company, avoid companies that try to charge you fees before settling your debt. Avoid promises of any specific amount of debt reduction. And avoid talks about new government programs that can bail you out of your credit card debt. It's also important to know that you don't need to hire a debt relief company to deal with your debt. As a consumer, you are able to call your creditors yourself and avoid paying any of those fees. Maria Garcia, Fox 25 Consumer Watch.
Now, if you do decide to work with one of these companies, contact Oklahoma Consumer Protection Agencies to see if there have been any complaints against that company. And for links to the numbers, just head to our website, okcfox.com.
Hope you had a real nice weekend, everybody. We had a real beautiful, colorful sunset this evening. This is from Elk City, from Jonathan Peebley. We had a nice mix of clouds and sunshine, and the sun is setting right over top of Jonathan's tornado safe room, by the way. So gotta love that. We have partly to mostly cloudy skies right now. Next weather maker is way up here in Minnesota, covering the Great Lakes all the way back towards the northern plains. Look at all the snow this system is cranking out. You think when this thing would arrive on Wednesday, we would get some of this stuff? We get none of that. That front comes in bone dry, just like it's going to be tonight. 20s to about 30s, so still a little too soon to be gardening out there or working in that flower bed. And man, is it going to get windy again tomorrow, especially in the afternoon and evening. So winds coming from the northwest at 15 to 30, gusts between 30, maybe 45 miles an hour. So if your trash cans are still outside late tomorrow, they will more than likely get knocked over or knocked around pretty good. We do start off in the 20s to about 30 in the freezer. Not too windy early, but those winds really get cranking throughout the day. 30s and 40s first thing, getting gusty as we go into the afternoon. But all those winds and the sunshine really put those temperatures in the 60s like today. Extremely windy and dry, so we're talking about extreme fire danger. Red flag warning, please be careful. But the fire danger does go down on Wednesday. It goes away Thursday, and it picks back up a little bit more Friday and this weekend. So behind that front on Wednesday, you do see it does get cooler but sunny. Thursday and Friday in the 60s to about 70, 73 and spring-like for your Friday, but in the mornings on Wednesday and Thursday, right around or just below freezing. Then a cold front comes in on Saturday. Best chance of rain showers and thunderstorms and maybe even severe weather down here in south central and southeast Oklahoma. A stray shower for central Oklahoma. Dry once again for you folks out west, but it does get cooler as we head into the end of the weekend. So 68 and your 70 on Saturday, cooler weather on Sunday, sunny, and then still kind of coolish and dry on Monday, highs in the 50s.
President Trump kicking this week off with a bang on his Twitter account.
Coming up only on Fox 25, we look at the claims being lobbed against President Obama's administration. Bigger than Watergate. That's how President Trump today labeled his own accusations against the Obama administration and the FBI.
He was firing off about the investigations into his campaign and alleged interference in the election, he says, by President Obama's administration. Our chief political correspondent Scott Thuman explains